something like that if they find some nice bit of yummy food quite up high that they want to get that, that they want to reach up to. So they will use that and put that in their way so they can stand up on that and reach up to high places as well. Or if there's a log in their way, they will push it out of their way. So they're obviously quite clever girls. So as I was saying about the teeth, these guys have 2 sets of teeth in the top of their mouth and 2 in the bottom, so they're quite large. They're basically giant molar teeth like you would have in your own mouth, however they're about the size of a house brick. They're obviously a little bit bigger. So they use these teeth to crush up all the amounts of browse and food and stuff that they would eat every day. So you can see their lorals just opening their mouth up. You can have a good look, hopefully. So these guys, as I said, eat quite a lot of food each day. So we just open their mouths up every day if we can to check that their teeth are nice and in good condition. They do actually lose their teeth as well. They go through about 6 sets of teeth in their lifetime. Cool. So I'll just hand you over to Emma to just say a few more things about the geckos.
Hey guys, thanks all for coming in. So I'll just, what I guess I'd say, so obviously here at Auckland Zoo we do have a free contact with our girls, and that means that we are in here with them building the relationship up, and that's what Lisa was touching on before with being in the pool, having lots of fun. But even these sessions as well are all about fun and keeping these girls stimulated. So Asian elephants are incredibly strong animals, so that's that physical exercise side of things, of moving logs around, picking logs up and dragging them, all those bits and pieces. But it's also that mental side of things as well. These girls, they need a lot of mental stimulation, so we're constantly trying to come up with new ideas, new things for them to do, and whether or not that's, getting them to push things or balance things, they're actually really good at balancing different things, or actually coming up with different behaviours that encourage a whole bunch of natural behaviour. It's all about encouraging that kind of natural-based behaviour as much as we can. So getting in the pool, having a nice cool-off, obviously awesome for getting all the dirt off Burma's body, and you can still see she is still a little bit filthy, so we will do a scrub later in the day. But it will also encourage her to do a lot of what we call natural dust bathing behaviour. So if you peer through the window and see Angela, you'll probably see that she's still covered in a whole bunch of filth, and before Burma got into the pool, she was actually covered in a whole bunch of filth as well, so that's sand and dirt and mulch and whatnot, and that is actually really important for her because that's actually protecting her skin. So on a day like today, hopefully you can put sunblock on to protect your skin and stop yourself getting burnt. But Burma, she actually needs to have access to different substrates, so that's having some dirt, that mulch or that sand to cover her skin as much as possible to protect herself as much as possible as well. So super important for her, and you might see, she's over in the sand pile at the moment, you might see she'll actually use her trunk and she'll pick it up and she'll fling it all over her body. Or even what we'll do sometimes is get her over, so there we go, we might see it in a second, we'll get her over onto her side, so she'll lie down, there we go, all the way. And that will make it really easy for Laurel to actually have a full look all over her body. So this is what we call a husbandry check. So we're making sure that Burma looks all good, that she doesn't have any little cuts or anything like that on her. And especially with food, you'll notice that she's quite hairy. Completely normal for an Asian elephant, but with Burma she can get little ingrown hairs developing, especially in that kind of spine area. So it is super important for us to actually have a good look each day. That scrub helps us to actually exfoliate that skin and make sure we're getting rid of any little dead skin cells. But it also means that we can get her down in this position and we can actually apply treatment for her. So we can put on some poultice, we can draw out infection, and we can make sure everything's looking good and keeping clean for Burma as much as possible. But even without us, Burma will actually do that type of behaviour on her own. So getting herself covered in substrate, like I said, it's really good for her skin to protect her so she doesn't get sunburned. But it's also really, really important for Burma to actually be able to exfoliate naturally. So you'll see once the sand's all dried off, she'll actually pick and choose different areas in the enclosure. So she'll go up to a really big tree, or she'll go up to a really big rock, and she'll just start scratching and rubbing and having a really good itch. And that's actually her naturally removing any dead skin cells that she has, using that substrate to actually help kind of exfoliate as she goes. So really important for her to actually get all filthy, and then for us to clean it all off again, and then for her to come out and do it all over again. It's one of her favourite things to do. And definitely what we find throughout summertime, getting in the pool is a great way for these girls to cool down. And we go, I'm just going to have a rub on her back leg here. That little boo! Very clever. And yeah, like I said, they'll get in the pool and have a bit of a splash, but then what we also find is that we've got a nice big mud and dirt pile down the back, and that tends to be their kind of substrate of choice in the hotter months. So a nice cool mud bath is a great way of cooling your body temperature down. And one of the other things that you'll see, and she's doing it at the moment as well, you'll see them doing on a really hot day, is actually flapping those ears. And that's to help cool down that body temperature as well. So through their ears, they've got lots of little veins, heaps of blood that flows through the ears. And obviously because that skin is quite thin on the ear, it actually helps the blood cool down, which then circulates around the rest of the body and cools the rest of their body down as well. So if you see an elephant kind of standing in the shade, flapping their ears, that's actually their way of kind of resting and cooling down versus getting into the water. But they'll also still use that trunk, suck up about 10 litres sperma can hold in her trunk, and then throw that all over her body as well. So you will see those different types of behaviours with the girls. And then come winter time, it's obviously all about keeping themselves warm as well. So putting on a nice layer of substrate, it's like wearing a nice woolly jumper. Go little boo! Now obviously, seeing in here, we do run through a few different behaviours with Burma. So there's those husbandry-based behaviours like the checking of the teeth, lying her over and having a real good look at her back, or lifting up her feet, having a good look at the bottoms of her feet, getting her to stretch. Burma is middle-aged, I guess you'd say, for an elephant. And so it is really important for us to actually check all over and make sure she's in a nice, fit, healthy condition. And then, like I said before, the other side of things is doing different behaviours. So getting her to move around, that physical exercise, pushing logs, picking up things, all that kind of mental stimulation. Really important to keep these girls nice and fit, healthy and active. And what we find out in the wild is that it is actually a natural-based behaviour. So they'll come across lots of different things out in the wild, whether that be really steep kind of hills that they have to climb up, or really big trees that they have to climb over. And when you're Burma's age, you're very good at climbing, but the climbing is a skill that takes a bit of time to learn and develop. So what we find is little calves haven't quite learnt how to do that climbing behaviour properly yet. So their big mums will be the ones to actually push or pull items out of the way to clear a pathway for the little ones to keep up with them. So it is natural based, and it is also a bit of fun. Burma especially really gets into pushing big logs, and even eventually what we find, especially on really stormy days, is if there's been heaps of high wind, both the girls get really amped up and excited, and then they tend to run around like lunatics, and they'll actually push and kick and pull logs and move things. So we'll be in the next morning and we'll be like, oh, that log wasn't there last night, and we'll look back on the video and we'll actually watch them, and they'll be playing and running around. So it is a natural behaviour, and they do actually get a lot of enjoyment out of it as well. So you can see Laura there's going to do, try and balance it. Oh, get it through! So Burma, essentially what she's having to do, she's having to listen really closely to what Laurel's asking for. And when she gets the behaviour right, so when she slows down, she pays attention, she kind of puts it in the right position, then she'll actually get a nice reward. So in Laurel's pouch, she's got a whole heap of different fruit, fresh fruit cut up, and peanuts, and horse and pony pellets, and all those bits and pieces to make sure that Burma's having a lot of fun in her session. Now, unfortunately for Asian